This video on our DLPs, our daily language program sentences, will review sets 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now to set 17. Writing of William Shakespeare dates, Ben Jonson once wrote, he was not of an age but for all time. We have Ben Jonson once wrote, so we don't need to say the word writing again. We could say Ben Jonson once wrote of William Shakespeare, and the dates, and then a colon, and then the quotation, or you could say of William Shakespeare dates, Ben Jonson once wrote, comma, open quote, he was not of an age but for all time. The comma after age is part of the original quotation, so we'll leave it even though that's not part of our rules that we use nowadays. And the exclamation mark is part of the original quotation. So exclamation mark and then close quote. Second part is a sentence fragment, all right? The words were prophetic. Now this is a compound sentence, so we need a comma after prophetic before the word for. For right there is not a preposition, it's a coordinated conjunction. So prophetic, comma, for his plays still are performed throughout the world, period. Now I need to make this next part a sentence, the most beloved English poet of all. You could say Shakespeare remains the most beloved English poet of all. That would work. Among English authors in the 1500s, a autobiographical, we use an before a vowel sound, an autobiographical sequence of sonnets were a fashionable literary form. A sequence, so that singular, was a fashionable literary form. Scholars have long debated the identities of the young nobleman and dark lady who Shakespeare dedicated his 154 sonnets to. A more formal way to say that would be, have debated the identities of the young nobleman and dark lady to whom Shakespeare dedicated his 154 sonnets. And then for our set number 18, basing it loosely on actual historical events and figures, Macbeth was completed by Shakespeare in 1606. All right, so let's move that to active voice. Plus, Shakespeare's the one basing the play on something, so the modifier is not next to Shakespeare. So let's see if we can do this better. Basing it loosely on actual historical events and figures, comma, Shakespeare completed Macbeth in 1606. If you don't like to say a pronoun before you say the noun, then you could switch those two. Basing Macbeth loosely on actual historical events and figures, comma, Shakespeare completed it by 1606. The setting is Scotland in the 10th and 11th centuries, when King James's family, the Stuarts, first came to the throne. 10th and 11th, you can write out. Centuries is C-E-N-T-U-R-I-E-S. And now I highlighted James right here, James's, to remind us of that new rule that if you have a name ending in an S, it is now okay to put apostrophe S. Macbeth is brave and has nobility. Well, those are not parallel, are they? Macbeth is predicate adjective and predicate adjective. So we need to make those the same. Macbeth is brave and noble. So noble man, brave man. So both of those are adjectives. But they, what are they? These qualities, let's say. These qualities are offset by his overwhelming ambition. Lady Macbeth's ambition is no littler than her husband's, for she is evil, but lacks a subtle awareness. No comma after evil. And our word there is little, less, least. So her ambition is no less than her husband's. Set number 19. A Shakespearean sonnet, 14 lines in iambic pentameter, consists of 3 quatrains and a rhyming couplet. And even though the MLA format lets us put the numeral for anything after 10, when you combine it with another number that's under 10, it looks very strange to have a numeral in one place and then a number written out in the next one. So I would write both of those out. 14 write out, 3 write out. And then we have 14 lines in iambic pentameter. As in a positive phrase modifying sonnet, we need commas both before it and after it. So sonnet, comma, 14 lines in iambic pentameter, comma. What these sonnets usually do is present a problem in the quatrains and offer a solution in the couplet. You could say, these sonnets usually present a problem in the quatrains and offer a solution in the couplet. So you could simplify that. Shakespeare's sonnets don't have no titles, so they refer to them by the first lines or by title numbers assigned. Okay, double negative to start out with. Shakespeare's sonnets have no titles or don't have any titles, so they, who are they? You could say readers, scholars, publishers, refer to the sonnets or the titles by first lines or by title numbers assigned. The destructive effects of time, the quickness of physical decay, the encouragement to marry and have children, and the loss of love, to make it parallel, are the commonest themes. And then number 20, the final one today. In Macbeth, the witch's predictions, the murders, and the sleepwalking create a mood of foreboding. Now, you may need to know something about Macbeth first. There are 3 witches in Macbeth. So it's plural possessive. W-I-T-C-H-E-S apostrophe. Okay? And then we just have items in a series that need commas, so comma after predictions, comma after murders. Combine is one sentence. Now, anytime our program here wants us to combine, the editors do not want us to make a simple compound sentence with an and, or a but, or a for, or an or. They want us to subordinate. Subordinate clause, make an adjective phrase, adverb phrase, something other than just slamming 2 sentences together. Even a little word like as. As the images of blood and darkness proliferate, comma, the horror intensifies. That would even work. Because he becomes involved in the series of events that led to his downfall, Macbeth has the tragic flaw of ambition. If it's led, it's L-E-D. If we want that to be present tense, leads, L-E-A-D-S. But this is kind of putting the cart before the horse here, right? Macbeth has the tragic flaw of ambition first. Then that makes him do bad things later. So we might say, because Macbeth has the tragic flaw of ambition, comma, he becomes involved in a series of events that lead to his downfall. Series lead to his downfall. L-E-A-D for series would work okay there. So our sentence ends up being, because Macbeth has the tragic flaw of ambition, comma, he becomes involved in the series of events that lead, L-E-A-D, to his downfall. So we can keep the word lead there if we keep it in present tense, or led if it's past tense, L-E-D. In their attempt to seize the throne, him and his wife ignore their consciences. He and his wife, subject case, nominative case, ignore their consciences. Now, how do you spell consciences? It's easy. Con-science. So C-O-N, sciences. And that's how we spell consciences. So that's our set for today.